The Łazienki Palace is a Baroque palace in Warsaw's Royal Baths Park. The Łazienki Palace is located in the largest park in Warsaw that occupies over 76 hectares of the city centre. From 1674 the property and the nearby Ujazdów Castle belonged to Count Stanisław Herakliusz Lubomirski, who built a Baroque bath house named Łazienka. The building, erected on a square plan, was richly decorated with stuccos, statues and paintings. Some of the original decorations and architectural details are still preserved from that period. In 1766 King Stanislaw II Augustus purchased the estate and decided to convert the pavilion into his small, private summer residence. History. The building began as a bathhouse for Stanisław Herakliusz Lubomirski, owner of adjacent Ujazdów Castle. After 1678 the Lubomirski Palace complex in Ujazdów was enriched with 4 park pavilions, Arcadia, Hermitage, Frascati and the largest of them the bathhouse. The marble building was constructed before 1683 according to design by Talman Gamerski. Finished in 1689, it was intended to serve as a bathhouse, habitable pavilion and a garden grotto. Interiors of the newly built structure were embellished with profuse stucco decorations, also designed by Gamerski. Among the decorations were water deities, surrounding the main decorational feature of the pavilion, the fountain. Other chambers had richly decorated plafonds and supraportes, while the walls were covered with Delft tiles. The facades and interiors were decorated with sculptures, reliefs, Latin inscriptions and Lubomirski coat of arms. Sriniawa. King Stanislaw II Augustus decided to convert it into private quarters, and it was remodeled by Domenico Merlini between 1764 and 1795. During World War II, the Germans drilled holes into the walls for explosives but never got around to blowing up the palace. Afterwards the palace served as a barracks. Architecture. The palace is built on an artificial island that divides the lake into 2 parts, a smaller northern lake and a larger southern one. The palace is connected to the surrounding park by 2 Ionic colonnaded bridges. The facades are unified by an entablature carried by giant Corinthian pilasters that link its 2 floors and are crowned by a balustrade that bears statues of mythologic figures. The north facade is relieved by a central pedimented portico. On the south front, a deep central recess lies behind a screen of Corinthian columns. Interiors. On the palace's ground floor is the Bacchus room, decorated with 17th-century Dutch blue tiles and a painting by Jacob Jordaens depicting Silenus and Bacchus. The 1778 ceiling painting, Bacchus, Ceres, Venus and Cupid by Jan Bogomil Plech, was burned down by German forces in 1944. The rotunda, designed by Domenico Merlini, occupies the central portion of the palace, decorated in yellow and white marble, with figures of the Polish kings. It is one of the most important examples of neoclassical decoration within the palace. It leads to the bathroom and the ballroom. On the other side of the rotunda is the lower picture gallery, which contains minor works by Rubens and Rembrandt, and the chapel. Also on the ground floor is the dining room in which the famous Thursday dinners took place, to which King Stanislaw Augustus invited leading Freemasons and other notables of the Polish Enlightenment. Its furniture and paintings are in the Classicist style. The Solomon Room, one of the largest of the palace's ground floor interiors, was embellished with a series of paintings depicting the history of Solomon. It comprised 6 paintings: The Dream of Solomon, The Queen of Sheba before Solomon, The Judgment of Solomon, Consultation with King Hiram, Dedication of the Temple and Solomon's Sacrifice. They were executed for King Stanislaw Augustus in 1791–93 by Marcello Bacciarelli and depicted the monarch himself as the biblical king. All these paintings were deliberately and completely destroyed by the Germans in 1944 during the preparations to blow up the building. On the first floor of the royal apartments, the upper picture gallery, the balcony room, the king's cabinet, the royal bedchambers, the cloakroom, and the officers' room,